Hey, I'm Floren, and I'm going to share with you how to make internet marketing work for you. So, who am I? Well, I've been marketing online since 1999. I've never even applied for a job, written a resume, or applied to college. I've tried various online marketing strategies during my career, and I'm currently an award-winning product creator, seminar instructor, software developer, and I'm a super affiliate. I've built email lists into the hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and I've helped countless people around the world have breakthroughs in their online businesses. So who's this training for? Well, this is for beginning and intermediate marketers who are maybe having some hard time getting to the next level. You might be struggling to get going, you might have hit a plateau in your business, and you just need to break through it and get to that next level. So my goal is to help you achieve a very high return on investment for any product that you purchase, any training that you purchase, so you can get a high return on the amount of energy you're putting, amount of money you're spending, amount of time that you're putting into internet marketing, and in a very short amount of time, see results from what you're investing in, from what you're spending your time on, so you can have a successful business of your own. So why am I doing this? Well, I've noticed over many years of doing this that most programs work. Most things are actually not a scam online. Most things actually do work. It's people don't stick with them long enough. They jump from thing to thing to thing, thinking, oh, gee, I need to do this thing, and then I want to learn how to do this other thing, and oh, gee, this other thing over here, that sounds great too. And they don't stick with anything long enough to see results. I also know that if I can help you achieve success, then you're going to invest in something else of mine, and you're going to reinvest the money that you're earning through your business into more training and more stuff to learn even more and to grow your business even faster and even larger than you could before, because I'm here to help you accelerate your business, to accelerate your earnings, to accelerate your potential so you can live the life of your dreams. So let's talk about mindset. You got to take immediate action. Nothing is going to be perfect. You're going to encounter people who are going to want a refund on products that you've made. You're going to have people unsubscribe from your email list. You got to get over that. Sometimes people are going to be mean or nasty to you. People are going to write something on Facebook or write something in an email or put something on their blog about how much they hate you, and you're just going to have to deal with it. That's life. You are a bigger target now when you're putting stuff out there in your own business. Bad things are going to happen. Nothing is ever as easy as it sounds. However, every product teaches you something. So let's go into those in a little more detail. You must take immediate action. Money loves speed. Money is rewarded by those who take action and apply things immediately. The only way for money to happen is when you take action. Winners take action, losers sit around and complain. You want to be a winner. So you can either learn from experiences or you can blame throughout your entire life. I commend those who choose to learn. It's also a lot better to take action and fail. I consider this getting feedback than it is to learn as much as possible without doing anything. Learning without implementation feels good. However, it's a lot cheaper to just go watch a movie than it is to buy every single information product there is on a topic and not do anything with it, and it's probably more fun. Nothing is perfect. Perfectionism has stopped so many people from achieving success that it's just not even funny. It's just amazing how many people have to have everything just perfect before they would let anyone else, buy something of theirs or do anything. And that is just a major roadblock. So now you, just like everyone else, doesn't want to put out something that has like spelling mistakes, grammar errors, or things like that. But best-selling books, movies, magazines, they all have mistakes in them. But that doesn't stop the creators of those products from making millions and entertaining us at the same time. It's better to get something out there and fix it in version 2 than it is to nitpick it for years and years and years trying to get it right. I mean, let's face it, if Microsoft or Apple waited till everything was perfect, we would still be using typewriters to write everything. People would not be using computers at all because the perfect computer is still not out there. You're going to encounter refunds. no matter how useful your product is, there's going to be a small minority of people, probably about 10% of the people who buy it, are just not going to be interested and they're going to want their money back. And some of them are going to throw a big fit. Others are going to make up some crazy excuse about, their seventh grandmother that they had has passed away, and they keep using the same excuse over and over again. I just bought these products, now I have a medical emergency. And it's like, yeah, you said that last month and you said that the month before, not really buying it anymore. It's not like you need to come up with an excuse to get a refund. I don't get it, but for some reason, there's a certain percentage of the population who thinks that, that is their way of getting stuff for free. Sometimes it's a valid excuse. They might not have liked how it was presented, or they didn't like your voice, or whatever. Other times it's someone who just wants to get something for free. Um, Here's something that a lot of people don't seem to grasp is if you have a money back guarantee and it's like a no questions money back guarantee, just apologize for the inconvenience and move on. Give them their money back. There's no point in picking a fight and bickering with them over it. The money that you would keep in the refund is oftentimes not worth the headache and hassle of having this person out there who hates your guts and is willing to, it might, tell everyone else in the world how horrible you are because you didn't treat them the way they were expected to be treated. Also, you need to congratulate yourself on getting refunds, because if you aren't getting them, you aren't marketing your product strongly enough. If you aren't getting, a 5, 10, 15% refund rate on your products, then you're probably not selling hard enough, and you should probably change your marketing, change your sales copy, make it a little bit more aggressive so you have some more people who actually take action and buy it. You're going to have people unsubscribe from your email list. If you're building an email list, and I feel you absolutely need to if you want to succeed, you're going to have people who are going to unsubscribe. Now, it could be people are getting too many emails, they might have lost interest, maybe your emails aren't entertaining or they aren't relevant, whatever. They're going to unsubscribe. Don't worry about it. Just keep growing your list faster than people can unsubscribe. So, for example, let's say you get 10 new subscribers a day on average, but 9 people are unsubscribing every day on average. You're still slowly building your list, and that's more than a lot of people can say. Don't be afraid to mail your list. If you're afraid of people unsubscribing or people sending you a nasty message, then why are you even building the list in the first place? You probably should just go back to working a regular job, because if you're going to let that dictate how you run your business, then you have no business being in business. Also, you should celebrate your unsubscribes, because that means that your message is irritating some people. And in order to be successful, you have to have those who embrace your message as well as those who don't. I'd say I make money on the people who hate me and the people who love me and the people in between. They're just kind of sucking up my time. They're not really doing anything. They're not taking action. They're not buying. They're not spending money. They're not doing anything of use. Just sitting there. Yeah, it's really exciting to have, lists of hundreds of thousands of people, but the vast majority of them won't do anything. And it's better to just get rid of those people and focus on that core group of people who love you and want to buy your stuff. People are sometimes going to be nasty to you. This is just like the real world. You're going to encounter haters online. People are going to hate on you. It's easy to be rude and nasty on the internet because people think, oh, gee, I can be a jerk on the internet and nothing's going to happen. I wouldn't dare say this kind of stuff to someone to their face, but I can be a jerk to anybody because I've got a keyboard and I can hide behind it and I can say whatever I want. And pretty much anyone who ever accomplishes anything, they're going to have a certain segment of the market that just hates their guts. And that's life. I mean, that's with music, that's with movies, that's with sports, that's with politicians, that's with anything. Now, some things even more than others. I mean, look at like, say like someone who's running for office. Almost half the people voted for the other person. So you got about half the population who hates you already. And they're probably not going to change their mind. You have to get over that if you want to have success. This is a good thing. You're going to make money on those who love you, and you're going to make money on those who hate you. But 80% of the people who are kind of stuck in the middle, who don't really care, they're not going to spend any money with you. So you focus your efforts on the 10% who love you, and do your best to either get rid of the 10% who hate you, or you find out how you can improve things and make them love you. I've also found that, sometimes people who start out not liking me, I can get them to kind of turn around and they can become your best customers if you treat them the right way and you find out what's really wrong. Um, there's some people out there that just think, oh, gee, everyone's out there to scam me because they've had some bad experiences. Well, if you can find what happened and get over that and develop some trust and rapport with them, those kind of people can spend a lot of money for many years to come with you. Bad things are going to happen. So I've lost PayPal accounts. I've had big spending customers go to some other people. I've had email autoresponder systems, like kick me off and not want to do business with me. I've had web hosting accounts fail. I've had launches that just haven't done well. Things like that. It's going to happen. That's life. Always have a plan B and preferably a plan C if something goes wrong. It's a lot easier to anticipate these potential disasters than it is to come up with a solution when it's going on in the moment and you don't know exactly what to do. But if you can go, oh, gee, I've got a way to, I've got like a backup of my website somewhere so I can access it when I need to, or I've got, another way to process transactions, for example. Those types of things are what's going to help. Or I'm making backups of my email list. That kind of stuff is going to help you. Like the Boy Scouts say, be prepared. Nothing is ever as easy as it sounds. A sales letter's job is to make the product or service sound easy. It makes you want to buy it. Of course, the easiest part of doing anything is clicking the buy button, especially if you're buying something with a credit card. Then, gee, you're just, adding some monthly debt to your monthly credit card bill. Not a big deal. Now, you need to learn and implement this strategy if you want to see success. So if you want to have something happen, you need to actually implement whatever the system is that you purchased if you want to see success. It's not going to do anything if it's just sitting on your hard drive collecting digital dust. It's not going to do anything for you. It's not going to make money for you. You have to actually get off your butt and do something with it. So, however, in reality, internet marketing really isn't near as hard as we make it out to be. You just need to follow the directions and implement. Don't get all creative. People, they buy a product on something and then they go, gee, I wonder if I tried this with it, or I wonder if I tried that with it, if that would help me make more money. It's better off for you to just follow the directions and implement it as is than to get creative. Get something working first, and then you can try your creative endeavors with it. But just get something going first. Follow the directions, follow the recipe. It's kind of like a cookbook. You follow the recipe, you make it, a couple times, make it successful. People are like, oh yeah, I really like the taste of this. It's great. Then you start tinkering with it and adding your own flair to it. Now, Bill Gates said, we always overestimate the change that will occur in the next 2 years and underestimate the change that will occur in the next 10. Don't let yourself be lulled into inaction. So what that means is people really think that, boy, in the next year or two, I can't get all that kind of stuff done. And then they forget about how much they can actually get done in a decade and how much they can actually accomplish in a decade. But people get sucked in with TV or with going out all the time, or just not doing stuff, and that makes it so nothing happens. Every product you purchase will teach you something. So no matter what mistakes are in it or how badly the information was presented, you can learn something from every product you encounter. Even if it's a don't do that in your own products, you're still learning something, and there's a valuable lesson that can apply in your business or any business. Now let's go over some time management techniques. We're going to talk about the 80-20 principle, to-do lists, calendars, outsourcing, and delegation. So the 80-20 principle. This basically means that 80% of your results come from 20% of your actions. So you focus your energies on the 20% of actions that bring in 80% of your results. So some of those might be acquiring new customers, doing some advertising, creating products, split testing, networking, things like that. Writing sales copy, stuff like that. Those are things that are going to be what's going to drive 80% of your business. And these are going to be 20% of your action tasks. It's not going to be like oh, I should check my email every, 5 minutes. Or, gee, I wonder if I have any new support tickets in my help desk. Or, boy, I better, log on Facebook and see what people are doing. No, you need to be spending your time acquiring customers, advertising your business, writing sales copy, doing product creation, split testing, networking with key people in your industry who can help grow your business. Things like that are the very important things that you need to be doing in your business. So don't waste your time on social media or checking your email all day. Those have a place. You just can't be on them all day long. Get some real work done before you go check those. You don't need to check email first thing in the morning. You don't need to log on to Facebook before you go to the bathroom and pee in the morning. You need to take care of important tasks first, and then you can check on those things if your heart desires. So also another thing you need to know, prior to the Industrial Revolution, people used to work from sun up to sundown. It would be, 10 to 18 hours a day depending on time of year. You would be really surprised if you're focusing on those 20% of those activities that produce 80% of your results during that time instead of checking social media, TV, and email. So in other words, if you were spending 10 to 18 hours a day doing product creation, acquiring customers, focusing on your advertising that you put out there, trying new split testing, networking with key people, writing sales copy that's going to help you grow your business. Things like that, if you focus on those activities for 10 or 18 hours a day, yeah, you're going to be working real hard, but you're going to have that business that runs on autopilot for you so you can spend the rest of that time doing social media or TV or email or whatever you find fun because you have a business that you spend a little bit of work on at the beginning stages doing it the right way. Not spending 10 or 18 hours a day learning things and buying new information products and delving into them thinking, oh wow, this is so amazing. You need to actually apply the information. Apply and you're going to see results. Implement what you've received. I don't care what you've purchased. Any product that you've gotten already, there is something in there that you can learn, you can apply, and you can probably have success with. So you need to just pick something and give it all you've got. Give it, a day or two of working several hours on it and actually implement it. Follow the directions to a T and implement it, and you're going to learn something. Either, gee, this method doesn't work, or I'm doing something wrong, and you can usually get support or help from the person who sold you the product. If you reach out and say, hey, I've been trying this, I'm not getting any results, people are going to help you out because they're going to see that you're an action taker and they want to reward that. Okay, so that's tip number one. Tip number two is actually focus on something. Focus on it, for a few days, few weeks, few months, whatever. Just actually focus on that core thing and make it work. Force yourself to succeed. To-do lists. This can be a fantastic tool, but your to-do lists need to be hyper-focused on tasks that bring in money. So it's going to be working on those things that are going to be those 20% of activities that bring 80% of your results. It's more important to finish that presentation or finish the sales letter you're writing or whatever than it is to pay that $5 late movie fine. Finish what you're doing and then pay the fine. Not a problem. It's better to do that than to interrupt your task and go return the movie or whatever it is and then come back to it later or not finish it at all. Because everything you don't finish is something that you can't sell. Also, if your to-do list is filled with items that can be delegated or outsourced to someone else, so for instance like mowing your lawn or grocery shopping, a lot of grocery stores now you can create a shopping list online and they can have someone who does your shopping for you and you pay them like $5 or $10 or whatever, and the store just does it and then you pick it up or they drop it off for you at your house. So that's something that you can do. It can save you a lot of time and actually can save you money doing it that way because you're not as tempted to get all sorts of impulse items that way. So you really need to reevaluate your list. So unless it's an activity that you really enjoy doing, you're better off spending a little bit more to get it done by someone else than in that way you can focus on income generation and getting more money into your business. Calendars. Now, I have fought calendars for many years because I thought it was, quote unquote, tying me down and not allowing me to enjoy my freedom. But over the years, I've grown and realized that when I plan my day and use a calendar, I get a lot more done. This is even more useful than a to-do list. So you can break your day down into like 15, 30, 45, 60-minute chunks, and then use your phone or a computer calendar or something to remind you of what you need to be working on, and then have it set a timer so you have that delegated amount of time to work on it. So let's say that you have a bunch of little tasks. Give yourself like 15 minutes to do that task. Do like 3 15-minute tasks in a row. Then you've got an extra 15 minutes that you can either have as a little break. You can have a snack, you can go for a walk, whatever. Read a book, whatever you want for that little 15 minutes to kind of get your mind off of those 3 little tasks you just did. And that way you got 3 important tasks done that help you out. Maybe you're going to do maybe one of the tasks is going to be, I'm going to do some new headlines for a split test that I'm doing. Well, you could spend 15 minutes putting in some new headlines into your split test and see how those are going. Your next 15 minutes might be, I need to make a couple sales calls. Your next 15 minutes might be, I need to plan out the next product that I'm going to do, and you can create a little brief outline for a product in a matter of minutes if you really know your topic. You need to be sure that you give yourself more time than you think so you can focus on that task, give it your all, and then have several breaks during the day. It could be taking a walk. It could be like having a cup of coffee. It could be just letting your mind relax. It could be vegging out to some music or some TV or something. You're going to get a lot more energized again for the day after you take these kind of mini breaks in between some of your bigger tasks, because it rewards you for getting some work done, and it hyper focuses you to work on those core tasks. Because if you're not focusing, you don't have a calendar telling you what you need to be working on, you're going to find yourself going back to like Facebook or checking the news or refreshing your email 50 times during that hour, or logging in to see what your sales stats were, and that's really not helping you make more money. Outsourcing and delegation. So it could be the neighbor's kid, it could be somebody on Fiverr, it could be someone you find across the world on Freelancer. You can't and you shouldn't be doing everything by yourself. You need to learn to delegate some of your tasks so that you can better focus on your time on the 20% of activities that bring in 80% of your results. You can even outsource some of those 20% activities. So for instance, you could get someone who's making phone calls to make sales for you. You could get someone who's creating a product. You could get someone who's doing your sales copy. Those are things that you can outsource. They're core important activities, and those are things, especially if you're working a job or you already have a business that's making good money, why not outsource some of your income generation techniques, because that's going to help you make even more money and help you multiply your time. You're going to have a lot more free time this way. You're also going to make a lot more money, because when you implement this strategy successfully, you're going to be able to basically multiply what you're doing and kind of replace yourself in that way. You're going to be able to get things done by people who know what they're doing, so you don't spend countless hours learning how to do it. For instance, I am awful with graphical stuff. I can't even, well, my handwriting is awful to begin with, so I can't even make like a stick figure that looks half decent. So you would not want me to create like the graphics for a sales page or for an e-cover or anything, because it would look like, I'm pretty sure that my little kids could make something that looks better than anything I could make. So it just would not be very professional, and no one would take action on any of that stuff. So that's something that I will easily outsource, because I'm awful at it, and there's no way that I'm going to spend the time or the energy learning how to do it when I can just pay someone, even if it's several $100s, to get the task done, because I know without a shadow of a doubt that whatever they make is going to be better than whatever I can make. So how do you really make internet marketing work for you? Well, you need to get organized. You need to focus. You need to do uninterrupted work. You need to set up an email just for joining lists and buying things. You need to learn and instantly implement. Dual monitors or a second computer or tablet. Get a coach or a mentor. Replicate other successful marketers. Follow instructions to a T. Don't try to innovate until you are seeing results. Focus on the basics. Set goals. Be yourself. Find a partner. Outsource. Network. Provide value first. Research your market and just do it. So how do you get organized? Well, you need to organize your working environment. Put everything that you've purchased or downloaded into its own folder so you can easily find all the relevant information on that topic when you need it. So for instance, let's say you got some products on a list building. You would have a list building folder on your computer, and inside that you'd have different folders for the different list building products that you've purchased, so you can find all the relevant downloads for those files in those respective folders. You should plan out your day, week, month, year, and you're going to get a lot more done during that time than most people, and you're going to start seeing major results a lot faster. So Benjamin Franklin said, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Focus. Follow one course until successful. Don't jump from shiny object to shiny object to shiny object. When you buy training, implement the strategy, then you can buy another product to implement. You can repeat this process as long as you like, as long as you are actively implementing and seeing results. So when I started, I was a teenager. I didn't have other sources of income, so I would try something. I would get something, I would try it out, I would implement it, I would make it successful, at least make my money back and then some, reinvest that money into either expanding what I was already doing, or I would try out some other strategy and learn that and get that going and make some money and implement it and get it going, and then try something else and keep doing that. And that's how I grew my business. That's how I grow my business today still. This is a very powerful strategy that a lot of people seem to not grasp the effect of. Uninterrupted work. So you turn off your cell phone, you don't check your email, you disconnect from the internet if you have to, you don't have TV or music in the background, but instead you focus undivided attention on the task at hand. So for instance, you might have a monitor or a computer where you're learning how to do something, and on your other computer or your other screen, you're actually doing the steps that it's telling you how to do. So for instance, it might say, well, here's how you set up whatever in your web hosting account, or here's how you configure WordPress to get really good rankings in a search engine. You have that video going on one screen, on the other screen you're actually doing what they're telling you to do. And that way, all the time you spent learning, you're actually implementing, so you're getting things done a lot faster than most people are. Now, if something that you're working on is so crucial, if you act this way and you feel that this is important and I need to get this done right now. If I don't get this done right now, everything good in your life will go away. In other words, someone's got a gun to your head and you have to get this done. You're going to get it done. You're going to get it done a lot faster than you ever would have done before. Now, many people can't make their business a success because we live in this day and age where we need to be entertained all the time. And we can click a button and we can just easily just kind of fall into this kind of hamster wheel of entertainment, and we can go from, I mean, heck, if you log into Netflix, it'll just, let's say you're watching a TV show, it'll go to the next episode, and it can keep going and going and going. For instance, I've been logged in on my Netflix account, and I turn off my TV, but I still have like Roku or whatever still going, and it'll keep loading up all these new episodes, and it just is playing them, because when I turn on my TV again, oh gee, there's another episode, and I'm like, oh wow, that's 10 episodes ago that I was watching this, and it's like, oops, so I gotta find where I was before, because sometimes I forget to hit the stop and pause and get out of the keep streaming screen. And I've done that a few times this week myself, where I've turned back on my TV and like, oh wow, I'm in a whole new season of this show. Whoops, I gotta figure out where I was. And it's unfortunate that I've made that mistake a couple times, but other people do as well. And sometimes their TV is still on when that's going on, and it's so easy to do, especially with something like Netflix, where it just kind of auto streams to the next episode on things, and it's all because it's so easy to be entertained in this day and age. It wasn't that long ago where people really had to Well, one, they didn't really have time for entertainment because they were working so hard and their lives were so short that they didn't really have the time or the money to be entertained like we do. Plus, they didn't have the technology to be entertained like we do. We live in a day and age where it's kind of making everyone a little bit attention deficit because it's so easy to just switch gears at the drop of a hat for anything. So you really need to focus when you're working on stuff if you want to see success. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a few breaks and rewarding yourself, but when you do that Netflix binge, it's really not helping anyone. You're not going to achieve anything doing that. We're all guilty of it. We all do it. I mean, for instance, a popular show comes on, or they create something really cool, and you want to watch every single episode because it's just so got you hooked because the story's so good. But it really isn't helping you. Now, you can do some of that. Excuse me. You can do some of that every once in a while when you've actually accomplished something and you want to reward yourself, and that's what you if that's what you find rewarding, by all means, have a day where you reward yourself because you had an excellent product launch or whatever. Odds are you'd have more fun going on a little trip or something along those lines. But if you think it's better to have a 3-day Netflix binge of some TV show because you had a successful product launch or whatever, you landed a big contract, by all means, go ahead and do it. But that's going to slow down your momentum and it's going to be harder for you to get back in the swing of things. So it's better to do little sessions every once in a while. With traditional TV, your show's on maybe once a week, and it's going to be on for like an hour at a time. Well, you can get a lot done during the day, and then watch your 1 hour of television, and that can be your way of rewarding yourself if you really want to. You can set up an email for joining or buying things. This is a strategy that I wish I was a lot better at following, but when you join other lists, you really should set up a different email account so you can just use that for signing up for lists or buying stuff, because your main email is going to be flooded with hundreds, if not thousands, of emails a day, and it's just going to consume you and you won't be able to get anything done when you're actually using your email. You need to learn and instantly implement. I talked about this a little bit before, but when I bootstrapped my business as a young teenager, I didn't have the luxury of having a credit card or a paycheck to help me fund my business. So I would save up my money from a project, and then I would invest in, XYZ software or training product, and then I would make it successful, make it work, and then I would reinvest my profits into something else, or I'd, expand what I was already doing. This made me make sure that I implemented things, and I was learning a lot, and I would just reinvest those funds into ramping up ideas and trying new things. One thing that I really like to do is I will watch a video or I'll read a chapter of like an ebook, and then I will immediately take action on what I learn. I find that if I read like the whole ebook or I watch all the videos, I tend to have to read or watch the videos again when I'm implementing things, and that takes a lot more time. So this saves you money because you're not buying every single product out there, and it helps you get results a lot faster because you're actually learning the strategy and then implementing it. So that's when you might have the two monitors and you have the ebook up on one, it's showing you step by step what to do, and on the other screen you're doing it. Or you have the video up on one and it's showing you what to do. On the other screen you're actually doing it, and you might have to hit pause every once in a while to stop what you're doing and actually finish up that step. But it's a very important thing that a lot of people forget to do. So dual screens, you get that second monitor or another computer or a tablet or whatever, and your productivity is going to just skyrocket because you're going to implement things so much faster, being able to actually see them, and you can either take extremely detailed notes so you can apply it immediately once, create some sort of like a checklist that way. Like if it's a task you think you're going to be doing over and over again, you can create some nice notes for it, or you can apply it while you're doing it, and then you learned it because you watched or you read or you saw someone doing it, and then you actually applied it. It's kind of like going to a workshop where they're like, here's how you do whatever, and then you spend the next 30 minutes actually doing it. I've been to a lot of workshops where people will learn how to get like their first website up and running, and it really starts out from the basics. Here's how to get your domain name. Here's how to get your web hosting. Here's how to set up your autoresponder. Here's how to do your WordPress. All those types of things will all get set up, and by the end of the weekend, They've got, a fully functional website. They're able to get leads on the internet. They're able to start getting traffic to their website. They're giving away something for free. They're getting something going, and that's something that they might have spent 10 years learning about because they bought every product under the sun about it, but they never actually implemented it. And by going to that workshop, it forced them to actually take action. This is also a great strategy if you're giving a webinar presentation, because you can have detailed notes on one screen and you can have your slides on another. You need to invest in a coach or mentor. This is one of the fastest ways to achieve success. You need to find someone who's already doing well at what you want, and you hire them. You pay for this mentoring. It could be as simply as taking someone out for a drink or a meal at a seminar, or you actually plunk down hundreds if not thousands on actual coaching. But you're going to find it worthwhile to pay that other person for picking the brain for their advice. It's a lot more profitable for them to be working on their own business than it is for them to be coaching you. So give credit where credit's due and give them a reason. Money's going to help out if you want to get them to help you out. You're also going to find that when you have mentors and coaches, they're going to introduce you to other people who can rapidly grow your business. And think of it this way: if world-class athletes and politicians and actors and musicians and stuff like that all have coaches and mentors, so should you. You need to replicate other successful marketers. It's a lot easier for you to find something or someone who's already having success and model what they are doing. The trailblazing pioneer will lose on most ventures, and their odds are they're never going to achieve success. It's the person who goes out there, they find markets and ideas and strategies that are already working, and they improve on them a little bit. And that can build a very stable business that can last for many years to come. I'm always shocked at the amount of people out there that have this idea of, oh, it's already been done before, it's not worth doing. And that is the exact opposite of how you need to think. If you see a business that's already having success, odds are you can improve on that, and then you have a lot more potential for a lot of success. For instance, there are a lot of fast food restaurants, okay? There are a ton of fast food restaurants that make a lot of money. We got McDonald's and Burger King and Taco Bell and Arby's and Hardee's and In-N-Out and you name it. There's all sorts of different businesses out there, these fast food type businesses, and they're all pretty similar. It's the same kind of concept. It's something that can be delegated to teenagers, basically. And they definitely follow a system. Here's how they advertise, here's how they, set up their kitchens, here's how they set up their stores, all that kind of stuff. It's all pretty much the same. You can kind of get a feel for a lot of these places, and they're all very similar, okay? And basically someone saw someone else doing it and they, improved on it a little bit, or they added their own little flair to it, but they made something that was very similar to someone else. They replicated those other things. They didn't go, gee, McDonald's already exists, we can't have another burger joint. We couldn't possibly do that. No, these people went, gee, look at McDonald's. They're making a fortune selling burgers and fries and a Coke. I bet I could sell burgers and fries and a Coke, and maybe just change the taste of it a little bit, and people would be interested. So they figured out how to replicate what McDonald's was doing, what they were doing right, fix what they might have been doing wrong, and they implemented that into their own business. And they have a successful business now that they wouldn't have had if they figured, hey, I can do my own thing, but it's definitely not going to be selling burgers and can't do anything fast food because McDonald's beat me to it. In other words, you need to embrace your competition, don't fear it. You need to follow instructions to a T. Don't try to innovate until you are seeing results. Quit trying to be creative, okay? You purchase training that shows you a specific method that works. The person who sold you that training might have tried dozens of different variations before they found something that works. Do you honestly think that the very first idea that comes to your head on how to improve the method is going to work? Odds are it's not going to. So you write your idea down, but follow their instructions to the letter, and then once you see some results, you try your idea. People invest in franchises like McDonald's because they want a proven system. When you buy a training program, you're buying a proven system, which is very similar to investing in a McDonald's, except it costs a heck of a lot less. Okay? When people buy a franchise system like McDonald's, they don't go, gee, I don't think we should sell burgers anymore. I want to sell tacos. No, they end up selling the burgers and they follow the system because the system is what works. You need to focus on the basics, okay? Winning sports teams realize that focusing on the basics helps them win games. The winning teams tend to spend a lot of time practicing pitching, throwing free throws, passing the football. So what can you learn from this? So these professionals spent most of their youth mastering the game, and they still spend a ton of time practicing and implementing the fundamentals, and you should too. You need to set goals. Without goals, you're going to be easily distracted and you can drift for many months, years, or even decades wondering why everyone else is succeeding and you are not. If you aren't actively working towards your goal each day, then you and your business are slowly dying a painful and agonizing death. Now, that being said, if you've achieved a goal, reward yourself. You'll find that those little rewards, they're going to further influence you to set bigger and better goals that will force you outside of your comfort zone. It's kind of like Pavlov and the dogs, where he'd ring a bell and the dogs would come running because they would get fed. If you can encourage that behavior in yourself, well, gee, I accomplished this goal, I'm going to get kind of a treat for it. That is going to help you stay on target, stay on task, and you're going to get a lot more done because you're going to look forward to that reward. I mean, for instance, people go on vacation, okay? And it's amazing how much stuff they can get done in that day or two or week right before their vacation because they want to get everything done so they don't have to do any work when they're on vacation. But they'll get 6 months worth of stuff done in a week because it's all this stuff that was on their back burner that they were like, oh, I need to get done, but I'll do it someday. But they go on vacation, and my God, they get a ton of stuff done. I'm sure you've done that. I've done that. Pretty much everyone I've ever talked to has gotten a ton of stuff done right before they've gone on a trip. Find a partner. Some of the most successful businesses in the world have been run by 2 or more partners. When you have a partner, it makes you more accountable because you're worried about letting them down. They're also going to be able to push you and they're going to help you succeed. Also, partners can bring different sets of skills. So for instance, you might be really good at networking and you might be good with sales and stuff like that, but you have a partner who's really good at making software programs. Well, you can team up. They can create a software program. You can do the networking and selling, and you can find people that can help you promote it, and you can make a lot more sales, and everyone makes a lot more money because you brought 2 different skill sets together. Sometimes it's really hard to make a partnership work when you're both really good at sales because what are you really bringing to the table? It's just 2 overly qualified sales professionals. You would be better off, hiring a sales professional and giving them a percentage of whatever sale they made than being a 50-50 business partner with them. Be yourself. People are looking to be edutained. They want to be educated and entertained at the same time. So have a personality and share a story with your audience. A lot of people are really stuffy and professional, and in this day and age, that seems to be kind of a turnoff. People want to have a lifestyle business at the time being. They're not really interested in being a suit and tie all day long. People buy from people. When people are on your website and they click the order button, it's not just like a little robot, getting out a credit card and deciding to buy something. People buy based off emotions and they buy from other people. So if you can get someone emotionally connected to you and they're really into your story and they're into you and how you can help them succeed or help them achieve whatever goal it is or help them solve whatever problem they have, they're going to be much more interested in buying that solution than looking at overall the facts and figures of something. They want something that's going to help them right now, and they're willing to get the credit cards out for it for the right offer, the right person, because people buy from people. They buy from those they know, like, and trust. Outsource. Outsource as much as possible in both your business and your personal life. That way you can focus on big picture thinking, networking, making sure everything is being put together correctly. In other words, managing your team. So if you take a percentage of your revenue and you reinvest that into outsourcing to the right people, you're going to be surprised at the amount of success that you can have. Also, if you're against outsourcing, think again, because every time you go like to the grocery store or a restaurant, you're outsourcing because, in other words, you'd have to have your own farm to get that food, or you'd have to cook every single thing by yourself, by hand, by scratch, if you want to eat. Okay, so you're doing that on a daily basis. You're getting food from other places, or coffee or whatever from other places, and other people are doing a lot of the work, and you're sharing a little bit of your income to make that happen, because you have to spend some money to get those other people to, bring all that food to the grocery store, or to actually cook up your meal at a restaurant and clean the plates and stuff like that for you. So you are already outsourcing. So don't worry about it. Networking. A lot of my income is based off of networking. Businesses are built on relationships, so you can focus on building and retaining relationships with people. You can grow a very large business very quickly. I recommend, this is a very classic book. It's been around since I think the 1930s. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's by Dale Carnegie. You can find it at just about any thrift shop for $1 or $2. You can download it online. You might be able to find it at your library. It is really a classic book that shares with you a lot of kind of, I guess, people psychology secrets that should be common sense, but often don't seem to be for a lot of people. And if you focus on these things, you're going to get people to really like you, they're going to know you, and they're going to trust you. And remember, people buy from those that they know, like, and trust. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust. So focus on those elements. How to Win Friends and Influence People is a great book that can train you how to do that. Provide value first. You provide value to your prospects, your customers, and your JV partners before you ask for anything in return. When you do this, you're going to stand out, because that's not what people do. When people are going out there and they're like, oh, I've got a product launch, I'm going to hit up, hundreds of people out there, and I'm not even going to talk to any of these people about anything else. I'm never going to build a relationship with them. I'm not going to be friends with them. I'm just going to hit them up because I got a product launch. That's not going to help you. You're not going to grow. You're not going to get anything. Same thing with prospects. If you don't give them, any sort of information about you or about your products and stuff like that, how many of them are actually going to buy your stuff? Same thing with customers. If you don't occasionally give them some other training or some other information every once in a while, how many of them are going to stick with you? If you're just annihilating them with pitch after pitch after pitch, and there's nothing else in there to help them succeed, why should they keep reading your emails? When you provide value first, it builds relationships. It develops a loyal fan base who's going to continue to do business with you for many years to come. You need to research your market. You find out what they want and you give it to them. Zig Ziglar said, you can have everything in life you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. Just do it. No, like Nike, just do it. Quit overthinking all this internet marketing stuff and just start implementing things. You're going to have some failures, you're going to lose some money, you're going to lose some time trying things. But you need to keep trying and keep implementing if you want to ever succeed. So let me ask you this. Did you quit learning to tie your shoes the first time you were given shoes with shoelaces? Or you go, oh gee, this is too hard. I can't do it. I don't want to. No. You learned how to tie your shoes. Now you can wear shoes that you can tie in a nice little bow, and you can, walk around with your shoes. Did you quit learning to walk because you fell over the first time as a baby? No. You picked yourself up again, or your parents picked you up, and you might have crawled a few more times, but eventually you learned to walk. When you were a kid and you were just learning how to potty train, did you quit because you had an accident and go, gee, I'm going to wear diapers for the rest of my life. I'm never going to wear underwear ever. No, your parents wouldn't let you do that because they were sick of changing your diapers. So you learned how to be potty trained, and now you wear regular underwear so you can go out and you don't have to worry about that. So my last question is, why do you give up at the first sign of something not being an immediate success? No one is an overnight success. No one just goes, boom, I'm going to buy this ebook. I'm going to, implement it today, and tomorrow I'm going to have a Ferrari. But that's everyone's mindset. Everyone who gets in this business thinks, I'm going to get this training. 5 minutes later, I'm going to be rich and I can retire to the beach. Heck, your download probably hasn't even finished of whatever you purchased, in that couple minutes. But for some reason, people seem to think that I don't have to put in any effort on anything and things are just going to be magic because I clicked the buy button on a sales page. No, that is not how it works, okay? You need to actually do some WORK, work. Yeah, I know it's a 4-letter word, but you need to do a little bit of work if you ever plan to succeed. So odds are that if you stick with something just a little bit longer, you maybe tweak a few things, get a little bit of feedback, you can make something that was failing or not having any success, and you can turn it into a major success. So here's some of the main takeaways that I think you're going to get out of this. You learned that you must focus. Follow one course until successful. You need to apply the 80-20 rule. Focus on the 20% of activities that bring in 80% of your money. Plan and set goals. Do what you do best and outsource the rest. Money loves speed. Take immediate action and just do it. So thank you for watching this presentation. I hope it helped clear up some things. Be sure to actually follow these instructions. Follow these instructions to a T, and you're going to start seeing a lot more success than you ever would just mindlessly drifting through life. If you focus on these main takeaways and you focus on what's going right in your business, you can have a lot of success. So thank you once again, and I wish you the best of success.